If you could tell somebody, like another trader, about this training, right, and what it did for you, what would you tell them?
I would say that it makes this training, if you just stick to this, just this presentation solely, this don't just to this solely, then it would make it trading simpler for you. Simplicity.
Mm, mm. I appreciate that because, there's so much complex stuff out here,
Yes.
right? We are going to be going on a deep dive on the process and my 3 secrets that I use in my day-to-day trading to produce consistent profitability in my trades. But first, who am I? My name is Jeffrey Boston Weatherford. Of course, you are a member of my community. You're a member, you're my friend on Facebook, so you know that. But the people out there that are watching this afterwards, that's me. So in 2020, I became a full-time Forex trader due to necessity. Full-time trader. I started out in options, and by the luck of the trading gods, my very first trade that I took trading options netted me $21,000. I took a $500 account to $21,000 within 1 week of trading. And for those of you that are really looking at this date, you know that March 16th, 2020, that was the week that really COVID started up. What I didn't know that I was experiencing at the time was a black swan trading event. Prior to that, I had been dabbling, watching YouTube University, thinking that I was actually gaining some type of insight into the market, but nothing beats actual chart time and actual experience, participating in that market. So almost as fast as I gained that $21,000, I lost it, right? And that was due to lack of experience, right? I was not ready for the beast that I had stepped into the ring with. Every time you step into the ring with a trade, you're stepping into the ring with veterans, with professionals, people who have been doing this for decades, right? They know exactly how to slip your guard and punch you in the face every single time. All right. So I realized that my lack of information, my lack of knowledge was hindering me from my goals. So I took it upon myself to teach myself how to trade. I joined various MLMs like, you know, iMarkets Live, like Epic, like Real Rise, gaining little pieces of information and actually running into different mentors that could teach me how to actually trade. And before long, I had passed my first funded challenge, right? Which some of you who are watching out there, funded challenges are extremely difficult to pass. And you can see here that only the top 2% of traders manages to achieve this. So I've not only passed one funded challenge, I've passed 2 funded challenges, I've passed 3 funded challenges, but that is not my biggest feat. So far, with my knowledge of what I'm about to show you, I have turned a $5,000 account into over $100,000 within 3 months of trading. Okay. How did I achieve that? It's from what I learned when I was trading crypto. As you can see here on the bottom right of the screen, I was ranked as one of the top 10 crypto entrepreneurs. I ended up making my own cryptocurrency that was backed by algorithmic trading within the Forex market. And through that experience, I learned about the dark side of trading, really what is driving people to buy or sell a currency, a crypto, a stock, whatever the case may be. And I realize what's driving the market is the emotion, right? The emotion and the media. These things go hand in hand as well as a full algorithm. This is from Bank of America's actual PDF about their global algorithmic strategy, right? So algorithms run the market. When people say that they are trading like the banks, highly doubtful, because the banks move with such precision and such timing that a human could never keep up, right? So when I learned about this algorithm, I started noticing a certain pattern within the market, which you may have seen this pattern. This pattern is called the market maker pattern. Okay. So we have at the beginning, we have the stealth phase where smart money is starting to buy, take their fragmented orders and place them in the market to drive it up. Then your institutions get wind of that volume and they begin to catch that same trend. Then the public, who is always the latest to the party, they catch that media attention, and as the buy up happens, eventually there is a massive dump, which leads to the mania and the blow off. This is a pattern that I noticed within the market day in and day out. Right, I started noticing it everywhere. Right, across so many different pairs, so many different days, and so many different weeks, and eventually I started to catch those trades. Right? When you recognize the pattern so many times, it's like a video game. A boss can only do so many moves against you before you know, oh, it's about to do this right now, or it's about to do this right now, right? It's the same with the market. The market can only pretty much go one of two ways, right? It has certain patterns, certain tendencies that it repeats, right? Am I right or wrong? Have you seen patterns repeat in the market?
That's true.
Okay. Right. So you're hip. So
Oh yeah.
as I've learned this understanding, right? It's easy to whatever to mark up charts and show you what I can do, right? Or show you the vision of it. But implementing it, I not only have implemented it for myself and shown others, or implemented it for myself and passed my own challenges, I've shown hundreds of other traders how to do the exact same, right? I teach how to catch the bottom and the tops of trends, tell people that they'll learn how to take a funded challenge and be able to pass in one trade, super high risk to reward setups like 1 to 10 and beyond. Okay. So this is one of my top students. At the beginning of September, he became a student. And by the middle of October, he had passed a 250K funded challenge in 2 setups. One
Yeah.
setup for the first phase, one setup for the second phase. Moving forward, another one of my top students who you study under within the Hyena Hut, Jay Blanked, he withdrew $30,000 from his 100K funded account, right? Using the strategies that you have access to within the Hyena Hut, right? These are not strategies that are not battle tested, right? These are extremely, extremely well tested strategies, right? Hundreds of people are using them. And with that confidence and that understanding that other people are having this type of success, it is you versus you, right? If you're not plugged into the education and you're not using it, it can never do anything for you, right? So I'm gonna show you exactly how to plug into the education. But again, this understanding, it's not just Jay Blank. It's people who are in the Hyena Hut beside you. It's life changing, right? The entries that Lucy gets every day are every trader's dream. In the hut, there's no hype, right? You ask for a one-on-one. We got on a call. If you need help, I'm there. Solid education that actually leads you to making money, right?
Yep.
So as far as the spectrum of traders that I've taught veterans, people who've been trading for years. But Adam, another one of my high level students, he had only been trading for 5 months when he came into contact with me. Okay. Within 3 months, he was hitting 1 to 5s. Easy 1 to 5s. He said 1 to 5 short and another 1 to 5 on the way back up. He's ping-ponging the market. It's too easy today. That's what I love to see. I love to be able to make trading easy, right? The signature flip pattern, it's so beautiful, and retail traders fall every time. The lack of knowledge is killing retail traders. It's absolutely demolishing them. Okay. But with this knowledge, you can be on the right side of the moves and catch the bank's coattails, right? That's what we're doing. We're catching the bank's coattails. Okay. Now Adam is living the life of his dreams, right? He is the one of the fastest results that I've ever seen when it comes to trading. He's going fishing in the winter and trading alongside it. So I love to see it. Love to see it. And I'm honored and humbled to be in a position to do so. Okay. We have more members. Big Dream, my guy Mike, he made 100K, you know, trading the strategies and the tools that we have within the Hyena Hut. Okay. Jay Blank right beside me, he helps develop these trading tools and these automated scanners that are based on the understandings that I have and I have divulged to him. Okay. So you have access to all of this, all of these things that people are making so much money from. All right. We have another member who passed their funded phase, right? Saying we're funded for life. And that's the truth. All you have to do is stick to the plan that's laid out, right? And most importantly, discipline yourself, because a plan without the discipline to follow it, it's like a boat with holes. You're going to sink. It doesn't matter. Okay? So, all of these people, what do they have in common? They all studied under one school of thought, and that's what you have access to here at the Hyena Hut. Okay. We're always here, always open. The markets are always moving. I'm always innovating. Okay. And you have access to all those innovations within the Hyena Hut walls. All right. So, of course, they have the full ins and outs of what I'm about to share with you for those who are watching outside of this, and for you, Jamar. Okay. You have access to the full ins and outs of the deep strategies that I'm about to show you. Okay. So from this webinar, I am going to equip you with a way to determine the trend. Okay. Day in and day out. I'm going to show you how many trading opportunities actually occur on a day-to-day basis. I experience absolutely no FOMO when it comes to trading, because I realize that there are actually infinite opportunities day in and day out for trades. I literally have a buffet of pips, ticks, and points on my plate every single day, and I just cherry pick the best ones. Okay. I reveal how I reduce the amount of time it takes me to analyze and find these amazing setups by 90%. I actually, even though people see me always posting my trades, I'm barely looking at the charts to find and select these trades. Once I have my process in place, there's steps that I go through once I have an alert. Okay. So I'm going to go over all these things and all these things that, you can use and utilize moving forward. For those of you watching outside of this training, this is for traders who are literally tired of that profit limbo that so many suffer from, and who are ready to cross over into this world of consistent profitability and basically become the trader that you set out to become. This is for people who have been trading for 6 months or more and just can't figure out why they can't make any progress. This is for anybody, all the traders who are attempting to get funded but can't seem to get off the ground from the evaluation stages, right? I'm going to show you how simple math allows me to get funded and allows my students and mentees to break through those funded challenges in one single setup. All right. So this is not for people who are looking for some type of easy button or some holy grail to magically just flip a switch and make you profitable. This is not for anybody who's trying to get rich overnight, because that's not what Forex and trading is. Just like you can't want to become a doctor and then tomorrow you're doing surgery. That's the equivalent of what people are doing. This is not for people who are looking for some type of cheap solution to learn something that can make you forever financially free. All right. There's no return without an investment. All right. So if you're trying to learn off of YouTube University, if you remember what happened to me, I gained some and then I lost it all just as quick. That's what happens when you learn from YouTube University. All right. So what we'll cover: secret number 1, how I determine the trend, right? This is like my magic wand, my magic compass within the market. Secret number 2, how I determine my entries and my exit points, because you can enter the trade properly, but if you hold too long, you're not getting out at the right point, and that trade can come back on you. And then of course, secret number 3, how I reduce my chart time by 90%. All right. You still with me, Jamar? You ready to get into this?
I am ready.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So in a moment, I'm going to show you all of these trading secrets for those of you out there for free that can really get you results if you plug in as soon as today, I mean, this is Friday, so not really today for those of you watching, but whenever you watch it, you're gonna get the overview of this. So, why am I doing this? Why do I do what I do? It's because when you teach something, right, you master it so much faster, right? I've been teaching how to trade ever since I started trading, ever since I made $21,000 in 1 week. I was teaching others about trading. Okay. And from that process, I learned so much because in order to teach somebody else, you yourself have to be enriched. So, me teaching is selfish. All right. It's a selfish venture because I want to be the best. And in order to do that, I have to gain the most knowledge. And by having students, it keeps me on top of my game at all points because I have to be the cream of the crop, right? In order to deliver this knowledge. All right. So, with that being said, once you see this free mentorship, the surface level stuff that we're going to talk about that Jamar has access to, you're going to know that you have no other choice but to go down this path too. All right. Because this information, you're going to see that it's not just some fluff, right? It's not just some indicator crossing over something and then something else happens. This is the stuff that traders dream of. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. Secret number one, how to determine the trend. All right. So there's two types of traders. All right. There's the traders that, they wake up in the morning, they got six screens up. Each chart is a different version, different time frame of the same pair. They have 26 different indicators on their chart, a volume thing, their arm plugged into a heartbeat meter, and then by the end, their chart kind of looks like this, right? They have no idea what they're looking at. Nobody else who is looking at their chart has any idea what they're looking at. Do you know any traders like this, Jamar?
I've seen a lot. Yes.
All right. And then we have a different type of trader, right? They look at a different type of chart. They look at the data. Okay. And this is what we teach in the Hyena Hut, right? We don't look at the chart first. We look at the data first because the data dictates what happens on the chart. Okay. This is different than anything you've seen before because data is based in fact, not opinion. All right. Think about it like this. Anybody can just draw a line on a chart, right? But the market can disrespect that line, break through it. It does not care about your chart art, your chart work, right?
Yep.
Not at all. People can see head and shoulder patterns, whatever the case may be, double flat bottoms, double flat tops, whatever. And it still gets absolutely demolished, right? I've seen it hundreds of times, and I'm sure you have too. 95% of traders are disregarding the data. They're just sitting there and staring at a chart and expecting that some magical message from the trade gods is just going to hit them in the face and they're all of a sudden going to understand what's going on the chart. Adhering to the data allows you to trade any pair under the sun, any pair, because there's news events for every pair. Okay. You focus on the data, right? That data, it gives you the exact time that these major moves are going to be happening, right? So instead of you plugging into a pair and just sitting there and thinking you see something, right? You know that a major move is happening because of the data. A schedule is given to you, right? So you remember that market maker pattern that I showed you. This is when we're going to bring it all together. Here, this media attention. Media attention. This is a key term in this pattern. The media attention is what catalyzes the market maker pattern. All right. It's what catalyzes the market maker pattern. So let me show you the data. All right. You've probably seen this website, forexfactory.com. This is the basic website where you can look at all of the economic data, all of the upcoming economic data, and all of the past economic data. All right. There are news events that occur day in and day out. So you never have to worry about FOMOing into in a trade, right? Because you have the schedule. You know when the train is arriving at the station. The color of the folder dictates the impact of that, but I'll give you a little secret, which you have, again, access to. The folder color doesn't matter as much as what type of an event that it is. All right. So the folder color can be deceptive, but I'll again show you exactly where to access that information of how to know which events are important and how to behave properly. Okay. So for this example, we're going to focus on the USD. This is your basic compass for how to interpret the data. All right. So every single day, there's typically USD news, typically around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know where everybody else is in the world, but I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be our compass for today. So around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, news starts to come out for USD and subsequent news comes out, typically throughout the day. Okay, so if something is good for the USD, that typically means that anything with the USD as the base is going to buy, and anything with USD as the quote is going to sell. Okay. So that means if USD is up front, right, something for good, like gold, it's going to sell. Something like USD CAD is going to buy. And on the inverse side of that, anything that has bad data for the USD, it creates anything that has USD as the quote to buy, and anything that has USD as the base to sell. So that means something that's bad for USD would create Euro USD buys, and something that was bad for USD would create like USD JPY sells. All right. But anybody can say some random thing, right, and pass it off. So let's take it to the chart. All right. Take it to the chart. I'll give you a strategy. Those of you watching on YouTube, this is like 10% of the understanding, right? I wouldn't give out all of the understanding for free, but you, Jamar, you're going to get the deepest understanding of this because you have access to the education platform on school, right? So a Thursday strategy. For those of you watching outside, we're going to use unemployment claims. It's one of my favorite events to trade. Very straightforward, right? Good for USD, right? Typically is green, right? Bad for USD is typically red, right? So a very easy to understand visual representation. All right. So you see the date, Thursday, November 16th. Let's take it to the chart, right? Now you remember this, good for USD, bad for USD, and the compass. All right. We're going to do it very quickly. So here we have Euro USD. All right. Remember the date, Thursday the 16th. I have my time set to UTC London 1. So this is 13:30. That's 8:30. All right. Remember that this data came out bad for USD. Okay. By our compass, what should happen to Euro USD?
So,
So the data says bad for USD.
oh, bye, my bad. Sorry, I looked at the wrong
No,
one.
you're good. You're good. So you sure? Final answer?
It says bad for USD.
Bad for USD.
Oh
And we're
yeah,
going with buy. All right.
bye.
So let's see. So wow. Do you see what just happened there?
Yep.
Yeah. You predicted what would happen based on the data to Euro USD. So Maybe that's just a coincidence. Maybe that's just a coincidence. Let's go to another pair. We got GBP USD. Same time, Thursday, November 16th this year, 2023 at 8:30. The data said that at 8:30 it was bad for USD. So by our compass, something is bad for USD. We got GBP USD. What should happen to GBP USD?
It should buy.
It should buy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, it's like you are literally have a crystal ball right now and you're predicting what's going to happen to the market. Do you see how that's different than an indicator?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay, is this making any light bulbs go off in your head right now?
Yeah, for sure. For me, yes, for sure.
Okay, so we've done two pairs. Let's just make sure it's not a coincidence. We got AUD USD. Same day, 8:30 November 16th, right? By our compass, something that's bad for USD, what should happen to AUD USD?
It should be buying.
It should be buying. So let's see if Jamar's crystal ball is on point. Wow. Jamar, you have become a market wizard and just in just learning one secret. All right. But again, don't take my word for it. I love basing things in reality using logic. Here we have another pair, NZD USD. Same day, Thursday, 8:30. We got bad news for USD. By our compass, what should happen to NZD USD on bad data for USD?
Should be buying.
It should be buying. So let's see. I mean, I think your crystal ball is getting pretty sharp, man. Look at that. It bought right on up. But is that a coincidence? I don't know. We can only look at the charts, right? I don't like to tell people one thing without showing exactly what I'm talking about. That's the difference between somebody telling you that an indicator when it crosses up to buy, why? What's creating that? That's a fallacy. That's illogical, right? When you move with logic on the market, that's when the market makes sense. So here we have a gold. People love to trade gold, right? So we have the same day, November 16th, 8:30. We had bad news for USD. By our compass, we got XAU USD and bad data for USD. So what should happen to XAU USD?
Should be buying.
It'd be buying. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No drawdown. You could have gotten to a buy at any point and just made bank. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So on the other side of that, I showed you all of the USD quote, right? So let's go with the USD base, right? We got bad news for USD. We got the USD Swiss franc. By our compass, what should happen to USD Swiss franc on bad data for USD?
Should be selling.
It should be selling. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You have a some type of time machine? You can see the future?
Yeah.
Cause you're hitting everything spot on. Right? I didn't make these charts,
Right.
right? This is what happened. You can go back on your chart and see. I didn't make this up. Let's look at another one. USD JPY. We have USD is the base. The same day, right? Bad for USD. By our compass, what should happen to USD JPY?
Should be selling.
It should be selling. Let's see. Is your crystal ball just shining right now?
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. It's shining. see deep into the future, right? Predicting the market. You're 6 for 6 right now, right? But keep in mind, for those of you that are watching, beyond this, I know you're probably jumping out your seats thinking that this is like the holy grail and you're just about to just run off right now. Go get your Lambo. This is not the holy grail. This is not the holy grail. This is about 10% of the full understanding that we teach within the Hyena Hut. I showed you how to trade one event. Okay. This is what you've seen. And this is what you don't see. Those of you who are watching right now on YouTube. All right. Jamar, he has access to the full understanding, right? The advanced market mechanics. So when you go onto school, okay, you go to the bottom part of this and there's going to be advanced mechanics, the mechanics behind the moves. There's an hour and 11-minute deep dive session on what exactly causes buyers and sellers to go long or to go short in the market, as well as how to trade any event under the sun. Okay. So when we hop off this call, you can dive into that. This is on the website. This is on school. And if you don't have access to that, just let me know and we'll get you access immediately. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Beyond that, right, I show you the week one, the train schedule, which I compare the market to a train, the money train, I call it. And in order to catch a train, you have to know the schedule, you have to know the train station, you have to know the train direction, and you have to know your entry and exit points. All right. So in the dojo, right, you learn about all these things. Okay, so the advanced mechanics behind the move, as well as the price action context clues on how to catch these trains with precision. Okay, so that brings us to secret number 2. Of course, again, once you have the full spectrum understanding of how to trade these events, you can trade any event under the sun. There are infinite amounts of trading opportunities, and you will never have to FOMO into a trade again. Right? So secret number 2, how I determine my best entries and my best exit points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let us watch this little video, share the sound. How many times has this happened to you? Right? You're watching the charts, you see big old juicy engulfing candles or whatever the case may be, higher highs, lower lows, and it's like, it's got to be buying. It has to be buying.
Yes.
Bogdanov, he did it.
Il bought.
He went all in.
Dump it.
RIP. RIP. How many times have you or someone you know bought the ultimate top of the trend and then they just got absolutely demolished?
Happens all the time.
It happens every day. Traders get wrecked every day, right? So as we move forward, right? So we can take it to the charts because this definitely happens, every single day, just like you're talking about. You can see here we have GBP AUD, right? A trader might look at this and say, "Oh, I see. What is this? Head and shoulders forming. We have the left side, and then we have the head already coming up, and then what has to happen next? It has to do that because the pattern is there, right? So boom, price gets there, and the trader's just itching. All right, I'm gonna take my trade. It's a textbook setup. Let's set it at a 2-to-1 risk to reward, and we're gonna take our position. A 25 pip stop loss. Boom, it goes into profit. They are trade lord. The Wolf of Wall Street has been born. They're thinking about their Lambo colors, right? They're going crazy in their signals chat. TP1000 has been hit, right? They're thinking about their mansion, thinking about that Lambo, right? And while they're thinking about all of this, boop, trade just turns around, absolutely obliterates them. And then they say, "My bad, chat. I didn't think about that inverted dinosaur looking at the sun pattern. That would have saved me." Right? And everybody in their signal chat is just like, dang, what just happened? Right? But let's apply some of the hyena tools to the equation. All right. So here we have the same chart. Okay. We apply Neo Hyena Vision, which you should have access to. If you don't, of course, you will get that right after this call. Okay. We apply Neo Hyena Vision and we see these weekly institutional trading levels, the monthly institutional trading levels, and how cleanly price respected that. Right. So if we had access to these tools, that trader who was looking at the head and shoulders pattern, they saw that price had broken above our weekly institutional level and then gotten here and rejected. We could have turned that 1 to 2 trade opportunity, right, into a 1 to 8. And within the hyena hut, I teach that you don't need any more than a 10 pip stop loss. And that's very wide, in my opinion, right? I have stop losses that are 5 pips and below, on most of my trades. And I trade between these levels. And with Neo Hyena Vision, you have access to this indicator, right? You have access to this indicator and you can place these on any chart, right? You said you trade futures. If you wanted to trade stock options, any chart, right? Any chart. This is a paradigm and a understanding. It's not a strategy. It's an understanding, right? Because like I said, there's more strategies than there are profitable traders. Okay. These levels are different than support and resistance because these levels are based on fact. All right. I've been coding since I was in the 6th grade. Okay. And I have hard coded this understanding into the markups. These levels are set in objectivity. I'm not making these levels up. Every single week, a new monthly or every single week, a new weekly level is set. Every single day, a new daily level is set. And every single month, a new monthly level is set. This is why I do not mark up any chart. It's because it's already done for me. Just like the data, right? 99% of traders are disregarding these specific price levels. And just like the data, when you are aware of these levels, it allows you to trade any pair. All pairs have these hidden price levels. And it gives you the exact levels that major moves can potentially happen from. Okay? So with that being said, let's get into it. Right? Here's a trade that I took on CHF JPY. And to a lot of people, without the insight that you're about to see, it would just look like how in the hell did you catch that bottom down there? Right? Like, how did you achieve this type of precision? It's when you apply these weekly and these monthly and these daily trading levels that you begin to see the mystery clear up behind my trading, behind these crazy tight entries that I catch. Okay. I trade between these monthly and weekly levels day in and day out. Day in and day out because I've back tested. The power of coding has allowed me to create a hyperbolic time chamber, right? Of trading. I don't know if you've watched Dragon Ball Z ever or anything like that, but Goku, he goes into a hyperbolic time chamber and a day becomes a year, right? And that's the type of energy that I'm on with trading because I can go back in time historically and see how many times the market has bounced off of this level clean, how many times the market has bounced off of this level clean. And that gives me confidence behind every move that I'm taking. right? If I know statistically speaking that, say, 75% of the time, if this monthly level hasn't been tapped before, that it's going to make a clean bounce, guess what I'm doing every time the market gets to that monthly level?
Putting that trade in.
I'm dropping the lot. I'm dropping the lot. Okay. So don't just take my word for it. Again, we can show examples, right? What pairs does this actually work on? Any pair with a chart. Here we have US 30. Most people, they talk about you can't get a stop loss less than 100 points on US 30. Some people out here calling like 250 point stops. I've hit trades on US 30 that have had 10 point and less stop losses on it. And it's because, again, this indicator, right? That weekly level provided the ultimate trading zone. It did not pierce it. And then from that weekly level, that's 500 points. Right? That's amazing. That's ridiculous, RR. And these trades are happening day in and day out because somewhere within the market, there is going to be a pair that's at that weekly or monthly trading level. Right? When you understand, when you have a full spectrum perspective of the market, that there's infinite opportunities, you will never FOMO into a bad trade. Never. Why would you? When you know that if you just wait, you can catch 500 points. Or, say for instance, you didn't want to hold all the way beyond the monthly level. You just took it here. That's a good 200 points. And even on the smallest lot, on a 0.01 on US 30, you're making $200.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's look at some other pairs. People love to trade US 30. Right? Boom. That was 1 to 17 on that trade. If you just traded between the weekly and the monthly level, right? No more, even though this went way beyond that. Right? Don't be greedy. That's the thing. Like, people lose in the market because they're trying to project and be romantic about where their targets could be. But guess what? There's always another setup. Always another setup. Take profit. You won. That's it. Move on. Right? People ask, does it work on gold? You tell me. You've seen my stop losses on gold, right? And now that you've had this training, that you're on this training right now, you don't really have to question or wonder. I'm taking trades when price gets to these weekly levels or these monthly levels, right? I do not discriminate, right? When I hear people say they love to trade some pair, I'm already looking at them like, dang, the market doesn't love you, right? I don't do anything but trade the setup, right? I have 32 pairs on my watch list, right? And in the next secret, I'm going to show you exactly how I accomplish that, right? How I can possibly have so many pairs and trade every pair under the sun. Okay. 1 to 16 on gold, another challenge buster, right? We're talking about breaking funded challenges. You drop 1% on this trade. This is a 16% gain, which is six more percent than you need to pass a funded challenge. Right? Am I right or am I wrong?
100% true.
Okay. Let's look at that trade on US 30. This is a 1 to 17, which is 7% more than you need to pass a funded challenge. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's move forward. A different pair, Euro AUD. Let's say, for instance, you don't feel comfortable dropping a 10 pip stop loss on these trades. Let's say you want to be more conservative, right? You could easily drop a 40 pip stop loss on these trades and it still would be respected, right? Still would be respected and you would still catch 133 pips, right? Which if you dropped 1%, you would need about 3 of these trades to pass a funded challenge, which you can catch 3 of these trades in 3 days. Absolutely. Especially with what I'm about to show you. Okay, we have Euro JPY. Just look how many trading opportunities came off of that monthly line, right? Even with even less conservative stop losses, right? 15 pip, still 1 to 4, right? 1 to 4.5. You catch about 2 of those trades, 1 or 2 of those trades, 3 of those trades. That's a funded challenge that you passed, right? With very little risk and a high reward. Okay. GBP AUD. Again, a 27 pip stop loss, right? It's all about your risk tolerance. Of course, the tighter your stop loss is, right, the less chance they say that you have to hit the trade. But by trading from these levels, this is how I achieve these really tight stop losses. I mean, 30 pips is still really tight, to most traders, right? Which, if I teach you how to achieve a 10 pip stop loss or less, then hitting a 30 pip stop loss is going to be nothing, right? There's methods to the madness.
Right.
Right? This again, I've shown you what, like 5 pairs so far. This happens on every pair, right? 10 pip stop is what I like. One of these trades, again, you catch the right trade. And again, the right trade can pass a funded challenge, right? You want one of those 10 pip stop loss trades from the monthly, right? The monthly is one of the strongest bounce levels that you're going to get, right? Followed by the weekly and then followed by the daily. Okay. So when it comes to trading like this, the best thing that you can do is just be patient, right? And don't overtrade a setup. Because if you take all your shots on this one setup, right, you're not going to be in the game for the next setup. Okay. So we go over that soldier of fortune mentality in the education, which you have access to my psychology course, right? Which I tell you the exact way that you should think of trading. Okay. Again, these setups, they're happening day in and day out, right? A 1 to 10 with a 5 pip stop loss possible, right? Not only do I show you how to catch these trades from these levels, I show you the times, right, that you should be catching them. Again, this happens on every single pair. Every single pair, even, Bitcoin, and the rest of the crypto, right? We got Bitcoin here, which you could have entered this trade with a $150 stop loss, or what is it? Bitcoin pips are counted way differently, 15,000 pips or something crazy. They make it seem so crazy on when they're calling out signals. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is an amazing move, a 1 to 12, right? From that weekly level. Okay. Once you go through the education that you have access to within the Hyena Hut, right? Trading opportunities are unlimited. Okay. You can day trade all day between these levels. I mean, this is multiple days that those levels are respected. And timing these levels is in the education, right? You, Jamar, you don't have to find these levels, right? Like I said, I created Neo Hyena Vision for myself and for you to do all the heavy lifting. I created that AI so I don't have to do any type of analysis or any type of chart markups. That indicator is like having my eyes on your chart. Okay. So in your invite only scripts, it should be Neo Hyena Vision 1.37 right here. And if you don't, again, have access to that, I can get you access to that like right after this. Lickety split. Okay. So beyond that, I don't just give you access to the indicator. I show you how to achieve the infinity RR trading setup, which is a 1 pip stop loss. The process that I have taken in order to achieve these insane RR setups, right? Because if you can achieve a 1 pip stop loss, right, guess what you can do?
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yes, indeed.
You can do anything. So there's a full 37-minute deep dive of how to utilize these monthly and weekly POIs so you can achieve these incredibly high risk to reward setups. All right. That's the power of secret number 2. So secret number 3, how I reduce my chart time by 90% and how you can too. Okay, because time is really all we have, right? We always late to a very important date.
Yeah.
The market never sleeps. Okay, it is moving at all points, right? One of the biggest tools that the market uses against traders is the tool of exhaustion, right? Most traders, they have no idea at what point the market is going to be moving, right? They could sit there and look for a move and then it could never come. And then all of a sudden you go to sleep in Asian session and then it just falls off the face of the planet, right? You were waiting for some type of sell-off to occur and then it finally comes when you're not present. How many times has that happened to you?
Way too many times.
Way too many times. Me too. Me too. And when I got tired of that, I started thinking deeper, like, how can I combat this entity that never sleeps? Right. And then it just hit me like a light bulb, a bolt of lightning. I can code, right? Why don't I create something that never sleeps? And so I did. These alerts, right? We have within the Hyena Hut, we have coded the alerts to alert us, send a message right to the Discord every time price hits one of these weekly and monthly levels, right? So instead of sitting here and waiting for this move to happen, right? Or for this bounce to happen, right? We know when these bounces are happening because alerts are sent directly to the Discord channel, right? And these alerts, I set them directly up through TradingView. If you have the indicator, which you Jamar, you do, but if you're watching after this and you want access, you have to join the Hyena Hut. And you can set up these alerts. I have over 177 alerts to bring my eyes to the market at all points, right? I am not looking at the charts. With 177 alerts, y'all are crazy if you think I'm looking at the charts. I know when something's happening. Guarantee, I know when something's happening. All right? Because if you can't beat them, right, I have to sleep. I'm a human. But my AI, it never sleeps. Never sleeps. Right? So this is the amount of alerts that we get day in and day out. Day in and day out. Right? Across every pair. Right? You see Euro AUD, CHF JPY, Euro CHF, Euro GBP, Euro JPY. The 28 majors and minors, we have them on a bead. Right? We have NAS 100, SPX 500, and US 30 as well as gold, right? Our AI scans the entire market, right? And so you, Jamar, when you want to plug into the system, you just go to Elite Signals, okay, on the Discord. And that's where signals are being pumped when price reaches these specific institutional pricing levels day in and day out. Okay. All right. So we've covered secret number 1, how to determine the trend, where Jamar, he just gained his crystal ball out here, y'all. And for those of you that are watching, right, that was just 10%, right? That's just 10% of what we have access to in the Hyena Hut. Right? He has access to the full advanced fundamental understanding of what creates buyer and seller interest in the market, what causes somebody to buy or sell. He can trade any event under the sun with the education that we have in the hyena hut. Okay. We went over secret number 2, how I find those clean entry and exit points. Right. And again, Jamar, he has access to this indicator. Not only does he have access to that indicator, he has access to the alert AI scanner that allows me to reduce my chart time by 90%, right? Within the hyena hut. So, with all that being said, Jamar, you should now understand how to formulate your own trades on a week to week basis, right? Because you have access to the understanding of the fundamentals, right? Once you go back, I'm sure you're going to go into the education now and deep dive. Now that you know you have access to all of this, right? You have access to the weekly and the monthly institutional levels that are pre-painted on your chart, right? You'll easily be able to pick the best trades when they just reach those levels. All you have to do is wait. You're just a surfer waiting for the best wave, right? Beyond that, you don't even have to set up, right? Set up these alerts for yourself. That is automatically done for you within the hyena hut. You can cherry pick these trades as they come to you. Okay. So, with all that being said, man, what did you think of the training? How would you rate this training? This, I would say, is kind of like a onboarding, because we really haven't had a conversation about what you have access to. So how would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh man, I would definitely now since we officially had the I would say definitely a 10, and it's been official now, because before I was kind of lost as far as like what should I be looking at, what should I do, but now
Right.
this onboarding, like it was definitely needed, and definitely like I see how, because I jump in this discourse every now and then, and I see what they're working on and stuff, and I see some folks are killing it, and then I see, like, I'm like, man, how they doing it? And I see I see your trades and stuff, so I'm like, man, but now I see the backside to it, to the trades
Right.
and stuff like that you're using, and how you're using your indicators. So yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So what would you say your favorite part of this particular training was?
Um,
Or,
definitely how. Well, I have two. I definitely like how you're using the Forex factory, just to trade those certain pairs on those days of the news, right? So that would be like good for like traders that are like to trade the news, because there are people who just trade strictly news and that's it. They don't trade nothing else. Then also I do like that because sometimes you get caught. You can't. Sometimes it's just not feasible to trade every single day, and sometimes you get worn out too, right?
mm-hmm.
And that's been my biggest thing going on too. Is like, man, I could be consistent for like 2 weeks, and then one week I just can't, just due to to real life stuff going on. And then I do like the indicator because I honestly, I didn't know how you was using the indicator before, but now I see how you are definitely using it now. So
Right. Right.
I do like that, because then that also that I like how it minimizes the chart time that you got to put in. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Just sit there and wait, and just be like, all right, as soon as you get that notification, and then, get your trading view up or whatever you're using to trade off of, however, and then, verify entry and all that. So definitely.
Man, that's amazing, bro. I'm happy that I had the opportunity to hop on this training with you and show you exactly how I get down and use everything that's in the hyena hut, man. It's been a long time coming. Definitely been a
Most
long time.
definitely, man.
Yeah, like we were trying to tap in when I was on book tour,
Yeah.
and yeah, this has been moving through different events since then. So appreciate you, sticking with me, waiting and being patient, until we could tap in, bro.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate just making yourself available too, because technically you don't have to, even though how it goes, But I appreciate that, and
Man, it's all love, bro. It's all love.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
got one more question for you. One
yes.
more question. If you could tell somebody, like another trader, about this training, right? And what it did for you, what would you tell them?
I would say that it makes this training, if you just stick to this, just this presentation solely, this don't just to this solely, that it'll make it trading simpler for you. Simplicity.
Mm, mm.
Yes.
I appreciate that because, there's so much complex stuff out here,
Yes.
right? And a lot of it's so illogical.
Yeah.
Like it really is. Like it doesn't make sense. Like when a line is crossing another line, or when a line is high on a chart, that you should do something that makes no sense.
Right. Right.
And when you move with objectivity instead of subjectivity, that's when the fog starts to clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you start to move with the data, right? The hard evidence, right? Because the chart will lie to you. The chart will
Yes.
lie to you. It's you think people don't really connect this, but the market, right? They call it the market. So what's being marketed? Marketed, right? Who is being marketed to? What are they marketing? Right? What do they want you to do? And the answer is they want you to get into a position so they can take your money.
Right.
Right? All that stuff like, oh, candlestick patterns is an engulfing candle and a bearish blah 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 blah. Bro, all that stuff gets wiped. The market makers are moving the market, right? They know what generates attention, what makes people drool, what makes people tick, right? And they do that day in and day out to generate liquidity. And then they sweep the board. So for those of you watching on YouTube, right, I want you to think about everything that you've just seen. You've discovered just how much you don't know about trading, right? Meaning that there's really so much more to teach you. I've shown you how I use AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of my chart analysis. And now I need you to ask yourself a serious question. Are you enjoying everything that you've seen so far? Was the time that we've had and what I've shown you enjoyable? Did you find it valuable? Do you feel like you are more equipped on the process you take to find potential trades more now than you were before you joined this training? Have you come up with some of your own ideas that you feel excited about implementing into your own trading processes? Would you say that it's fair that these tools and techniques would give you a significant advantage over other traders who are trying to be successful and consistently profitable? Are you happy that you showed up? So here's what you can do. You can take what I shared with you today and use that 10% to change your life for the better. And I have full confidence that even after our time here, if you don't sign up for the Hyena Hut, you will still have a way to help you become a fully self-sufficient and profitable trader that you previously didn't even think about before. And even if that were your only option, that path would still be a worthy ideal to pursue. But what if there are another option? An option that allowed you to go way deeper than the things that you just saw and allowed me to serve you at the absolute highest level that I could. What if I took on personal responsibility for your success and had an obligation to help you get the results that you desire and that I believe you deserve, just like you watched me do with Jamar? If I had an option like that for you, would you like to hear more about it and what it could potentially do for you? That's why I designed the Hyena Ninja Dojo. This is where I train the cream of the crop, the top traders who are looking to become profitable and execute on trades with laser ninja precision. The concepts that I have shown you over the course of this training, they have scratched the surface of what I actually teach within the dojo. But before I tell you about the dojo, again, this is for traders who are absolutely serious about learning the mechanics of the market through objective-based trading strategies. These these strategies and understandings of the market, they are in place because they work, right? As I said earlier, there are more strategies than there are profitable traders, right? This is why this is an understanding, right? This is the mechanics of the market. This is for traders who refuse to give up because they have seen the power of trading. All right. Again, this is not for anybody who is trying to get rich overnight. This is not for gamblers who have no type of impulse control. This is not for thin-skinned or weak-minded people. In order to be a trader, you have to be confident in yourself, confident that you can achieve, as well as positive, right? This is not for people who give up at the very first sign of trouble or if they perceive that they have failed, okay? Trading is not an overnight journey. Sometimes it's not a year journey. Sometimes it's not 3 years, but the right information can set you up for success way faster than studying a bunch of the wrong things. So for a limited time, I'm doing a free 45-minute strategy session where I diagnose the problems that you are having and I see if my program is actually a good fit for you, right? I don't just let everybody come into my community that says they're having trouble with trading, right? If I don't believe that I can assist you, or if you seem like you're a bad fit, a negative Nancy, a Debbie Downer, then I'm not going to work with you. So you can schedule your 45-minute strategy session in the link in the description. And on the call, we are going to do a quick evaluation, right? See if we can make your goal of becoming a self-sufficient trader actually work. We are going to see what problems you are actually facing in the process of selecting trades. And we're going to see if my community and the education is a good fit to actually solve those problems, right? Are you a good fit for us? I only work with positive go-getters. I don't work with any negative people. If you seem like you're going to be a hard case to work with, I will end the call, period. I will let you know that I'm not going to work with you and the reasoning behind that. Then and only then, I'm going to show you exactly what the Hyena Ninja Dojo program looks like and see if you want to become a part of it. So a rough timeline for the members within the first phase, you go through a 4-week education program. You do the homework relating to each video and you gain the ability to ask questions directly in the community and see each of my trade breakdowns. In phase 2, you should have a trading plan mapped out, be able to formulate your own trading ideas, and you will be critiqued by me personally, as well as provide numerous examples of your trade setups that occur throughout the market to give you the confidence you need to make your own trading decisions. This is about cultivating fully self-sufficient traders. So within phase 3, after you demonstrate that you have developed a level of proficiency by executing and journaling at least 10 trades in line with the strategies we teach you in our community, you will be certified, right? Get your certificate, be an official Hyena Elite member, okay? And within the 4th phase, I assume you're going to be fully equipped with the skills necessary to grow your personal accounts, even get funded through one of the various proprietary trading platforms that are available, like Funded Trading Plus, who I am funded through. So if all of this sounds like you and you want to skyrocket your trading by joining the Hyena Ninja Dojo and learn directly from me, over the next 5 days, I have set aside some time to talk to traders like you and see if I can help you achieve your trading goals like I have helped so many others who have come before you. We'll talk for about 45 minutes and I'll map out an exact action plan customized for you to follow so that you can crush your trading goals within the next 3 months. And this call will most likely be the most valuable 45 minutes you spend on finding the path to profitable trading. The Hyena Ninja Dojo. It's all about opening traders' eyes to the true mechanics of the market, like you saw in Secret One, and the driving factors behind the pushes and the pulls that you see on the surface of the charts. We provide traders with a safe learning environment full of people who are working to achieve the exact same thing. We dispel the complete and utter nonsense that is being taught to the majority of the retail trading herd, like how to trade with indicators and how to trade with whatever the case may be, your moving average crosses, all this illogical nonsense. We create fully self-sufficient traders who don't need signals or bots to trade. So now you have a choice, right? You can take all of these 3 secrets that I showed you. You can work to Frankenstein this system on your own and hope that you do it right, conquering all the unseen roadblocks as they come out and figure out every hiccup or you're on your own. Or you can have me by your side and make sure you are doing it right. Blast through all those roadblocks you're having like a rocket ship and accelerate your success faster than you ever could on your own. You can let me help you, right? Someone who's funded, someone who's flipped accounts, someone who's taught hundreds of traders, somebody who is on the other side of the path that you are working to currently walk. I can help you, right? This system is what transformed myself and others, right? If all it did was help you generate an extra $5,000 a month, would it be worth it? Right? If all it did was allow you to travel whenever you wanted to, with whoever you wanted to, would it be worth it? If all it did was allow you to work from home and have more time to do the things that you wanted to do, would that be worth it? Because if it's worth it, right? Your results, they can come way faster than you think. Right? We can go back to Adam, one of my top students this year, right? I connected with him and he became a student on September 2nd, right? And I told him when he trained with me, he would be able to take one trade and passive fund it. Within 45 days, right? September 2nd, within 45 days, he had passed a funded challenge. Not only that, he's a 6-figure funded trader, funded in 2 setups. So what's the difference between starting now and starting later? Later may never come, right? I'm always working in the charts and I'm always getting better. The price that this mentorship costs today, if you're watching this next month, 6 months, a year from now, almost certainly won't be the same, right? If you have money to take advantage of it now, you might not have that money to take advantage of this deal later. Okay? So you have a decision to make, right? And for staying for the end, I'm going to give you a free book on mastering your trading psychology because they say that trading is 95% mental. Okay? So if you go to bit.ly/gift from hyenas, you can get a free book on mastering your trading psychology. All right? So if you'd like to go ahead and get started, schedule your free discovery call and your training session, right? Go ahead and click the link in the description.